After the First War, General Hamilcar of Carthage felt that mercenaries were limited. So he decided to establish a colony in Spain and raise an army with the best training. After Hamilcar's death, his son Hannibal started the Second Punic War. Growing up under his father swearing vengeance on Rome, Hannibal was a person who had the temperament of a soldier to the bone. Hannibal went on an expedition to Rome with his father's large army. He was advancing on a path that Rome could never comprehend. He had climbed across the rugged Pyrenees and Alps Mountains. His expedition consisted of about 90,000 infantry, about 12,000 cavalries, and an army of 37 elephants. At that time, the elephant squad was a living tank unit. However, after going through that difficult mountain range in the winter with a blizzard, the number of cavalry was reduced by half. There were about 20,000 infantrymen, and only one elephant survived. However, even with a huge loss of troops, Hannibal managed to break through the Romans. The Roman army, accustomed to face-to-face combat, was helpless against Hannibal's surprise attack strategy. Hannibal was perfectly aware of the enemy's deployment and made the most of the terrain and weather to create traps. And the battle that made him a great commander in the history of world wars was fought in southern Italy in 216 BC. The Battle of Cannae is regarded as a textbook example of the siege, an annihilation battle and the most complete victory in history. It was a battle in which a large number of dense Roman troops in a dense formation were surrounded by a small number of Carthaginians and mercilessly slaughtered. At this time, the Roman army was about 90,000 in number, and Hannibal's army was only about 50,000. Hannibal defeated the mighty Romans, and his strategy was a called crescent tactic. When the Romans with powerful infantry in the center pushed in, Hannibal created a crescent formation with the convex in front, and intentionally enticed the center of the Carthaginian army to be pushed back by the Romans, keeping the double-winged position. Then the Romans gradually became trapped within the wings of the Carthaginians. Suddenly surrounded by the enemy forces, the densely packed Roman army was unable to correct its formation properly, and from then on, the battle turned into a massacre. The Carthaginian army completely annihilated the besieged Roman army. The tactic of the crescent moon, in which Hannibal conducted a perfect siege operation, remains a manual textbook for siege and annihilation even to the present day. Hannibal's greatest strengths were his ingenious tactics and precise ability to judge on the spot. He was an excellent strategist who knew the importance of the field and analyzed the situation, enough to say that he slept on with his coat on the ground with the soldiers. However, there was a disciple who really studied and learned Hannibal's ability to judge on the spot, and it was none other than Scipio of Rome, Hannibal's enemy. Scipio was among the crowd who managed to escape from the Battle of Cannae. Even in the field of defeat, he had learned lessons from his enemies. After that, Hannibal attacked the surrounding cities of Rome for about 15 years. He had intended to isolate Rome by tearing its allies away from it, and to attack Rome at the last minute and force it to capitulate. However, this strategy failed. Rome used a new strategy with the strategy of postponement. Scipio left Hannibal on the Italian peninsula and attacked the stronghold from which Hannibal had left. Then Hannibal was summoned to his home country and had no choice but to return. And Hannibal and Scipio had their final battle on Zama Plains in North Africa. It was the Battle of Zama in 202 BC. Scipio's army was about 40,000, and Hannibal's army was about 50,000. Besides, Hannibal had about 80 fighting elephants. However, only the numbers seemed superior. Hannibal's army consisted of new recruits and mercenaries hired in a hurry, and the Romans were veterans who had been run through the battlefield many times. In addition, Scipio knew all of Hannibal's tactics. The charging elephants were feared, but they had the weakness of being sensitive to sound. When Scipio's Roman army blew their trumpets with all their might, the startled elephants crushed their troops. Taking advantage of the chaos, Hannibal's army was attacked and annihilated. The defeated Carthage was forced to sign a treaty that was more humiliating than it had been in the first war. The compensation had to be paid 3 times more than the first, and they had to give up almost all territories except Africa, and without the permission of Rome, they could not go to war as they wished. After escaping from the Battle of Zama, Hannibal became a fugitive. When Roman soldiers came to arrest Hannibal in 183 BC, Hannibal eventually drank poison and committed suicide. Scipio, who was a rival of fate with Hannibal, was also presumed to have died in the same year as Hannibal. Scipio, who left Rome after being betrayed by his motherland, was so disappointed with his motherland that he even refused a state funeral in Rome. But the Third Punic War broke out in the same place where Hannibal and Scipio died. Carthage resisted the provocation of Numidia, which was an ally of Rome, and Rome invaded Carthage again, asking why Carthage had violated the treaty and gone to war. Rome, which had a lot of resentment towards Carthage, attacked even the citizens of Carthage and carried out a merciless slaughter. Of Carthage's 250,000 citizens, 200,000 died, and the surviving 50,000 was sold into slavery. The once prosperous city of Carthage was utterly destroyed by the Romans. At the end of the Third Punic War in 146 BC, Carthage disappeared from the territorial map. In this way, Rome became an undisputed hegemonic presence in the Mediterranean, laying the foundation for growth into a great empire.